Welcome. So today we're going to be doing some Linux privilege escalation, Linux PrivX. And this is kind of get you guys ready for eJPT or eJPT. One thing, so if you're starting with this box, do it with me or whatever else, give you a minute to get to it and start it up. For eJPT, eCPPT, APT, alright, all those, you may not be able to get admin privileges. So if you can get them, great. If you can't, you can't. You have to know what you're looking for, what you're looking at, because you may just be confused on if you can get them or not. But remember that, you know, it's supposed to be a real life penetration test with e-learn security stuff, with the INE stuff. So make sure that, you know, once you're doing it, if you tried everything and you sat there and tried, you may not be able to do it. That just may be something. Now, if there's like a file running as root, if there's, you know, you can run code as root, things like that, then yeah, you probably, you know, privilege escalate. But if there's nothing really being ran, you may not be able to do anything. Also, make sure you realize what operating system you are attacking, if you're attacking a Linux or Windows operating system. So everyone's so used to just, you know, cat etc password, right? That they don't realize that once they get over to Windows, it's going to be a, what is it, C boot INI, you know, something like that. So C drive boot INI, and so we start to do things that we're so used to, and we don't realize, oh crap, I'm on a Windows machine, not a Linux machine, and you're wasting valuable time with that. All right, now we got this machine started up. Let's go ahead and get everything up and running here. So I'm going to go ahead and make a directory for this first. Desktop, try hack me, and this one is Linux PrivX. We'll CD is there. And I am going into this guy blind. Don't know anything about him yet, so let's go ahead and run an mmap scan on him. And we'll see what we get back. We get port 22, 80, 80, 80. So if we start to read, let's see here. We do get a SSH should be available on port 22. You can log in to user account using the following command, SSH user, and then the password. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do that first. So, how you doing, Sakamar? How's everything going? So we'll go ahead and use that user account and that password. We'll SSH into it. I do want to see about the 8080 though, see what's going on with that. So I'm going to go ahead and actually do an mmap, see if it's Tomcat or not. And we'll go ahead and SSH user at, or what was it? It was user, right? Yeah, user at that IP address. And it's going to be password 321. And since we do know his password, I'm not really going to follow this guy in order. I'm just going to kind of do what I would do in the beginning. Let's go ahead and do a sudo techo. And we get a bunch of stuff back. Okay, so this is called Linux PrivX. I mean, so we can utilize these things in here to be able to, these binaries, to be able to escalate our privileges. I know that Vim, for example, less should be good also to use. More might be good because it's not pointing to a full, like, user bin more. It's just bin more. So it's not pointing to that full address. That might be a good one to attack also. But let's just start from the top. Let's, like, start with find, right? And we would go to GTF opens. And from here, what we can do is we type in find. And we see, and we're running it with sudo, right? So we should be able to do a sudo find, and then all that. So remember, it is in user bin, so we have cd over in the user bin, and we can go ahead and run that command, and we should, yep, and we are root now. Cool, that was easy, okay. Exit out here. We do also have a nano. Let's see if nano is something that we can use. We can probably do all these, in all honesty. Nano, sudo. So sudo for nano, we can type in this. Full X, yes, I guess. Full X. Yes. File name to write. Nano, I guess. I don't know. File exists. Overwrite. Yes. Huh. Let's see here. So we want to do that sudo nano, right? So very first thing we want to do is a sudo nano. Let's get in there, put in those two things. Well, we probably want to do like a file, right? I would think. Want to do like a sudo nano, something like that. I don't know. Make that file like right there. And we are not becoming root with that sudo nano. Let's do a sudo nano test. Okay, that's already in there. Sudo nano test 123 dot text. That should be there. There we go. Now let's go ahead and do these two guys like right here. I think that's actually a control. I don't think I actually need to do that guy like right there. Yeah, I think I might have to do something different like right there. I'm going to have to research that sudo nano one. What the hell? And then let's go ahead and see what else we can do with that sudo tech l. We also have vim. I know we can get it through vim. I showed that one before. We have man. We can try something with man here. Maybe look at the manual. Sudo for man. Sudo man. Okay, let's try that. ID. Looks like we're root again. Alright, so you can see that all of these are vulnerable. Last AWK, FTP, all these are vulnerable like right here. So you can do something with every single one of those. How you doing, Kerr? But yeah, every single one of those you can do something with. So that's our sudo stuff. Let's go ahead and see what else is running on this guy though. An exit. Oh crap. Oh man, this guy's really messing me up now. Alright, got no idea. There we go. Okay, so 8080 is not Tomcat. Does not look like it at least. Pre-go to the IP address. 8080 not look like it's Tomcat. I was just seeing if that was Tomcat because that could then be another way into the box. It works. Okay. So from here what we'll do is we'll SSH back into it. So like I said, very first thing I like to do is do a sudo tech l. Password 321. And let's say you didn't know, or let's say you didn't know the password, right? You got in through RSA key, something like that. So let's go ahead and start to look at those kind of things. I already have a script that's set up for this. SUID lookup.txt right here. That's my script for it because I use it a lot. So I don't want to go out to the internet or try to type that in every single time. Let's go ahead and see what binaries this guy can run with his SUID bit, which is quite a bit again. Alright, well, I mean kind of quite a bit, but we'll see. So I don't think any of these user bin password, we can run that. We're supposed to be able to run that? Okay, yeah, we're good. Good on that one. Ping 6, mount, bin SU. Well, we should be able to run that because we'll be able to change users. So none of these really look sudo edit. We should be able to run that. I don't think we should be able to run that with binary. But sometimes you'll find things in binary also that can give you ways in. Alright. So let's go ahead and keep looking around this box, see what else we can find. What we could do is we could throw limpies at it. So let's do that like real quick. And since we are SSHing to it, I'm going to show you guys how to throw limpies at it with SCP instead of using like wget. So if wget isn't actually on the box, you can use SCP. So let me move limpies over. That's going to be privilege escalation awesome script, limpies.sh. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a SCP, right? And I always forget the syntax for this guy. So we'll say SCP Linux. And if you have ever done anything with Net Plus or Sec Plus, you know that SCP runs over port 22, right? So we know that for a fact. We should be able to send this guy over to a remote host utilizing port 22. So it's going to be SCP, whatever I want to send, username to their directory. So SCP limpies .sh, user at, not that, at the IP address I want. We're probably going to get a lot of stuff back, but this is another way to be able to figure things out. Okay. I think I need a semicolon in there. User at that IP address. Yep, semicolon slash, and we should be able to go to cd/home and see that there is a user. So we cd the user. So we're going to do /home user. Okay. And then that's going to be our remote directory like right there. I don't think we need to name it again. I think it should just come through as limpies.sh. Let's find out. See if it says that there's an error in our syntax. So I need the user's password. Right? We know his password. It's password. I think I typed that in wrong twice. Okay. PASSWORD. Password 321. And that's going to allow me to SCP something over. And now if I do an ls-tech-la in here, we can see I have limpies.sh ready to go. So let's do a period / limpies.sh. Let's see what this guy finds. So we immediately do find that there is something wrong with a path here, home user path. Linux version looks like it might be out of date. The sudo version looks like it might be out of date, or it's not the newest one. If we're running anything like a MySQL server, maybe I'll do root in it. Check the version of that and stuff. So, yeah, we are running MySQL server. We see like right here, 127.0.0.1.33.06. Cool. Here's another one. Another problem with it. As you can see, all of these guys are problems, like right here. So we did talk about that earlier. Going through and doing all of those. MySQL version 5.1.73 looks like. MySQL connection using root with no pass, yes, so we can get into MySQL. Alright, so that might be another way to be able to get in. Let's go ahead and check that out. MySQL, what was that version? 5.1.73. 5.1.73 exploits. Multiple vulnerabilities, exploit DB, authentication bypass, multiple remote exploits. I mean, why not? So remote exploit, nothing in there. Privilege escalation, and MySQL library. Okay. Let's go ahead and look up that privilege escalation MySQL library. Privilege escalation, okay. Privilege escalation and vulnerability, we just saw that one. 5.0. Vulnerability in MySQL library. So right now we're not finding much in there, but we might be able to find something out now. Alright, so we know that we can log in with no password on there, right? So we might be able to look at stuff, see what's going on inside this guy, and go from there. And we can also see what we can write to, what we can read, things like that. Who knows? We might be able to read Etsy shadow, Etsy password. So we'll cat slash Etsy shadow. See if we can read that. We can. Shaw 512. Who that is? $, $6. That should be a Shaw 512. So we should be able to put that in the John the Ripper. Full nano. Actually, let's go ahead and get this whole thing. I already know users. Let's go ahead and get that. We'll do a nano shadow.text. Let's go ahead and use John for shadow.text with a word list of user share word list rocky.text. And it should be a Shaw 512. Root is password 123. Okay, cool. So that means we should be able to SU into root now and do a password 123. And we should be root now. Oh, authentication failed. Sudo SU root. Password for user, password 321. Then SU root, okay. Sudo SU. There we go. So I just did SU, password 123, and now root over here. Alright, so let's go ahead and log into MySQL now. MySQL. Tac U root, and there's no password on it, and we are in it. Okay, cool. So the server version is 5.1.73, it looks like. And we can try to find different things on there. So 5.1.73, we try MySQL, privilege escalation, exploit DB. UDF dynamic library. What's this for? MySQL for and newer releases. Okay, 4 says that. Sorry for MySQL 4 MySQL newer releases include fixes for security vulnerabilities and handling user data. Identify functions. So it looks like this is supposedly fixed. This one like right here. I mean, we can still try to run it, but that looks like it's supposedly fixed. Or maybe that's just an old guy like right there. Supposedly there's a race condition maybe. Database privilege escalation. That was in 2012 though. What was this one? That was in 2006. Privilege escalation UDF. User defined function. Not really seeing much in here. I feel like we should be able to do something with that. That version seems old to me. Alright, let's go ahead and do a show databases. And we do have MySQL, so let's go ahead and use MySQL. Show tables. And we have a user table, so let's go ahead and select star from user, and we get, wow, this graphic right here. We get a lot of stuff actually. Looks like we do get some type of hash there though, so that's good. But we get a lot of stuff in there. Let me go ahead and minimize out of here like a little bit, and we'll go ahead and try to do that one more time. Select star from user, and we're getting a lot of crap here. Okay. So we can try to start to break that down. Everything we can look at it. It is going to be root, and then that's obviously something that's like a password or something like that. So we might be able to crack that guy also. We did get in here root, no password. There's nothing really in here to see that I could tell. So nothing too much in here to actually see. If this was a database inside of one of the machines they were doing or something like that, it may have a lot more information in it. So, hi. What's up, Kier? So yeah, but it doesn't look like it has too much information in there. Let's go ahead and look back at the box, see if we figure anything out yet, actually. So, Run the ID command was the result. I don't even know anymore. Was it exit ID? The result is that, like right there. Okay. Service exploits. MySQL. So there's an exploit for MySQL. And I think that's the one that we already picked, like right there. Pretty sure it's the exact one that we picked. So he already has a MySQL UDF, which I'm pretty sure is the exact one that we already picked over here. This one, like right here, 4.5x to 5.0. Supposedly it was fixed, but it doesn't seem like it was. So he supposedly already has it, it looks like, in his machine, in home user tools MySQL UDF. So we can just go there instead of, or we can try SCP it over again. But CD into home user, and what was it after that? Home user tools, and that was MySQL UDF. So let's go ahead and CD into MySQL UDF, and we have this Raptor. So we should be able to GCC that. Okay. Now, if we want to look at it, we can do a cat Raptor. All right. And this guy's going to tell us what to do and how to do everything in it. All right. So we have a usage. Very first thing we want to do is GCC it. All right. So we want to compile it. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Is that actually the very first one? Yes, it is. So let's do that. So we compiled it. We can see that it has been compiled. All right. Next thing we want to do is we want to do another type of compiling. So we're going to grab this one right here. We're going to compile it again. LD returned 1 exit status. Final link failed, bad value. Recompile with FPIC. So I may have messed up the first time with that FPIC. So let's go ahead and recompile again. Okay. And we'll go ahead and compile it again down here. I may have missed that FPIC the first time. There we go. All right. Now it says to go ahead and log into MySQL. So let's go ahead and do a SSH over on this one also. Password 321, and I'll stay as user so we can actually see the privilege escalation actually happen. So do it MySQL tacu root, because we're right here. Okay, root, and there was no password, so now we're in. And then we have use MySQL. Okay, cool. Create table, so it wants us to create a new table. Oh, whoops, I messed up that one, huh? So use MySQL. We're going to create a table. Create table, foo, line, blob, okay. Insert into foo values. We're going to insert what we just compiled over here into the foo values. Cool. Select star from foo in a dump file. And again, what we compiled. Cool. Create function, do system returns integer. Okay, so we'll go ahead and grab that. Oh, we have an error. Can't open shared library, blah, blah, blah. Cannot open shared object file, no such file or directory. Do I have to make that directory? Looks like I might have to make that directory, huh? So insert into, select star from dump file. We already did that, right? Select star from dump file, yep. And then I create function like right there. This one like right here kind of messed it up now, didn't it? It says that I cannot do that. Let's see. Let's see if we can just keep going with this guy. I know if it'll work. Select star for MySQL function. Let's see if anything happens here. And there's nothing in there. So we should have got something like this coming back to us. So we're not getting anything on this guy, huh? But that may also be because I have an idea of why that might be. Let's go ahead and CD into tools or user / home user tools MySQL UDF. Then we'll go right back into this guy, and we may have to actually start all over again. I'm going to try to start from right where I just was, which is create function, right? Nope. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and use MySQL. Okay, because that was one of the databases that we had. We'll create that table. We'll go ahead and insert into it. And all this stuff is already going to exist most likely. I'm going to select it. Already exists. But we can't create function for some reason. Where are we going? User lib MySQL plugin Raptor UDF. So we're going to cd into user lib MySQL plugin. Probably because there is no Raptor UDF.so in here. So let's go ahead and copy from user, from home, user, and then it was MySQL.udf, right? Nope, home user, tools, MySQL.udf, and it is, what's it called? Raptor UDF.2 S. Okay, SO. It's right there. Permission denied. Okay. What about sudo? Can I do that? Really? So I can't copy the plugin over to anything like that. What if I already escalate my privileges? That doesn't really show that I'm doing it in MySQL now, does it? That's kind of weird. Let's just keep going with this then. That one's kind of weird, like right there. System does not exist. Yeah, I didn't think so because I can't create the function. Anybody's got any ideas, please let me know. No such file directory. Wow, okay. That is very strange. So yeah, if anyone's got any ideas on that one, please let me know, because that one is really, really strange. We got temp fast track P to gain shell with privileges. Remove temp. Use the function to copy bin bash to temp root bash. Is that the select do system? But I can't even do that one. No, can I? Yep. Yeah. So I don't have MySQL do system, so I'm missing quite a few things on here. So if anyone else was able to do it, let me know how you did it. But supposedly if you follow this guy right here, you should technically be able to do that. But he's also a higher, I don't know, because he seems like he's higher than what he should be. Like right there. They're saying 4 point whatever to 5.0 and not 5.1.3, so I don't know. Supposedly Etsy Shadow's readable. We already saw that. Was the user's password, user's hash, okay? So we already saw that. We already catted Etsy Shadow, right? And he wanted the hash for the user, which is again a SHA-512, most likely SHA-512 crypt. It looks like he wants the whole. What's the root user's password hash? See about the whole shebang in there? Looks like it. That slash period boom boom maybe response to it just like that. Okay. What hashing algorithm was used? That's a SHA-512 crypt. And what is the root user's password? And we found out that was password 123. All right, cool. Weak file permissions, writable etc shadow. Okay, so if it's SHA-512 crypt, then yep, I'm about to say we should be able to make another one. So let's see if it is actually writable. LSTech-LA for etc shadow. Alright, and it is writable by me, right there. That W right there shows that it's writable by me. So we can go ahead and use that and try to do a crack on that guy, or change his password. So let's go ahead and do a nano on etc shadow. Well, I don't need to do that yet. I actually need to first create a hash, right? So we're going to make password. Okay, PASSWD, tech-m, SHA-512, and then we'll say password. We'll say that. Maybe if I could do this correctly. There we go. And there's the password for SHA-512. From here, what we can do is we can then edit the nano/etc shadow file, and we can get rid of the root password, like right here. So we can just delete all the way up to right about here. Whoopsie daisy, that was way too much. Control X, no. Let me go ahead and nano that one more time and do that again. Shows that sublime text. I can't do sublime text, never mind. What I have done before is actually brought this back to myself and edited it, then put it back again. That's one way I've done this. So let's see if we can SU into root with password now. And we can. So we don't need password 123 anymore. We can now go into it with password. So we did that. We file permissions, writable etc password. Okay, so that should be an open SSL. So we should be able to see. Just go ahead and cat/etc password to first see if they have any hashes in here. Sometimes you can find hash in here, which doesn't look like they do. Alright, but if we can write to this, let's do an LSTech-LA for etc password. And we can write to it, which means we could change one of these guys to look like root. So it could be x00. So we could change user to x00, thus making him root, which is probably what we're going to be doing. Open SSL. No, we're putting a new password in there. Oh, okay. So generate password of your choice. I'm going to go ahead and do the first one I said. Nano /etc password, and we're going to try it that way first. See if it works like that. So I have done this one before. And what I've done is I've gone ahead and just did a 0, 0 like that. Alright. So it makes it look just like root. Okay, except for he just goes to the root folder, bin bash. This one's going to go to his home folder, which is home user, bin bash. And then we'll say Control X. Why does he have 3 commas? Whatever. Yes, enter. And then let's go ahead and exit. And let's go ahead and log back in with him. And this should be password 321 for user. And as you can see, we have changed over into root. So there you go. That's one way to do it. Okay. Box didn't say anything about that, but that's a little trick for you guys. You can also take this whole file, bring it back to yourself, delete it off of here, and then re-upload it. So let's say Nano isn't running on machine, Vim isn't running on machine, Sublime Text, anything like that. We could have done an exit out of here. Alright, let's go ahead and grab this whole file now. And I'll show you, I'll bring them back to 1,000 now, okay? So we'll grab this whole guy. And if we can delete it, what we can do is we'll go back into him. If we can delete it as user, password 321. Or if we can delete it like we're running a script or something like that, we can delete it like that. We can go ahead and remove tech RF. Or actually, I'll just do a nano /etc password. And what we'll do in here is we'll bring them back to 1,000. I'll copy that one over. Then we'll show that we can get back to root. So we'll do 1,000, 1,000, which is what it was before, right? Yes. Log out, exit, re-log back in, and I'm going to be user again. Since I can read and write to it, I should be able to delete it. So let's go ahead and make a little thing up here. We're going to say nano, and this is going to be called password. Alright. We'll put that guy in there. We'll change user to 0 in here now. And what we'll do from here is we'll move tech RF. slash etc password. Alright, oh, cannot remove it. Okay, so I can't remove it in here. You may be able to sometimes if maybe you were able to run something as a super user, but I can't remove it in here. And then if I were to do something like this and re-upload it, that would then change that out. So I could get into root, do it, but if I'm already root, there's no point showing that. So let's go ahead and do it how it wants us to do it. Okay, so we're going to make an OpenSSL password this time. Okay, and we're going to put our generated password hash between the first and second colon of the root user's row, replacing the X. All right, cool. So let's do an OpenSSL. OpenSSL. I believe it's just new password and then new password. Yep. Okay. PASSWD password, and that's going to be, we'll say password again. All right, so that is his new password now. We go into a nano / etc password. And what we can do is, instead of having X there, we can put in that guy, Control X, yes, SU into root, and we'll type in password. And I should be, or no, sudo SU, excuse me. What am I doing here? SU? And I am root again. Okay. I should have been able to exit, and I should be able to exit, and I should be able to SSH, and that's root at 10.10.167.66. That doesn't prove anything what I just did, like right there. We'll do, what was my password? It was just password, right? Password. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and nano that again, or we'll do an OpenSSL, because it may be still using that other password I created earlier. PASSWD, we'll say password 1 this time. Okay. We're going to go ahead and put this guy in there. So we'll do a nano / etc password. So we'll put this guy in there, exit out, and then we'll get back in and do it again. So password 1 this time. Alright, so let's exit. And we'll go ahead and SSH it again. This time we'll do password 1. And that should log me in, and it did. So there we go. Okay, so that proves that utilizing that is a little thing like right there. Thank you, Errors Gamer. I do like the 0 trick there. Run the ID command as a new root user was the result. Okay. Yeah, I do like the little thing where you're able to change the 1000 to a 0, and you're done. All right. So sudo shell escape sequences. What is this? Yep, we already did that. How many programs is user allowed to run via sudo? A lot. So let's go ahead and exit out of here. We'll SSH back into user. Right. I don't remember my password. Password 321. I think it is. Yep. Okay. So sudo tech l. He's able to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It looks like 11. Program list. One program on the list doesn't have a shell escape sequence on GTFO bids. Which one is it? It should be Apache. Might be Apache 2 or whatever it is. Apache 2. Alright, cool. And I showed at the beginning how to do some of those. So we got a sudo environment variables. Okay, so sudo can be configured to inherit certain environment. Okay, LD preload. Alright. User bin has been Apache. Okay, root shell will spawn. So this is utilizing another tool they already has in here. Alright, I'll let you guys go ahead and do that one. I'm not going to go through that one. And what's up, Hacksploit? How you doing? So I'm not going to go through that one and show everything. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and do this one so you guys have something to do on your own. Cron jobs are good. We already looked at SUID and some of that. So cron jobs, let's go ahead and look at this. Alright, so we can cat etsy cron job and we can see what is running as a cron job. Let's go ahead and do that. So we have a couple things. We have a compress.sh and also an overwrite.sh. So we want to find out where's that overwrite.sh sitting at. And what does that overwrite.sh do, right? So let's go ahead and locate overwrite Okay, we got user bin local overwrite.sh. Let's go ahead and cat him. Cat that guy. And what he's doing is echoing date and time to temp useless. Alright, so that is useless to do. What we should be able to technically do is start up a listener and also do some type of, like Netcat. Let's see if this guy's got Netcat on him. Okay, he does. Alright, cool. There's Netcat tag E. Can I do that? Option requires an argument for tag E. Cool. So we can have Netcat and Netcat tag E. So what we should be able to do is cat, and like I said, I have a bunch of scripts on here, and we'll do a Netcat reverse shell. Let me do an ifconfig, so I get my IP address, 10.98.166. So what we're going to do now is we're going to echo this guy like right here. And he's messed up. Okay, so we're going to echo our Netcat reverse shell. And I need my IP address, right? So I need 10.9.8.166. Okay, the port that was down 4242. Okay, we're gonna echo that into, and we can just append the file even. Overwrite.sh. I always like to append files because then, like in a real test, they don't realize that something's actually going on because you're appending that file. So what that file is doing is it's still doing it. So let's do an nc tac lvmp 4242. And we appended that file. So hopefully what should happen, and he should now talk back to him whenever something happens, right? So we already located it, okay? He wanted us to do a bash, right? And then just wait, should take no longer than a minute. I'm going to go ahead and try the Netcat one first. I have seen people just throw like a bunch of them in there, which is pretty funny. But I do also have the bash one too. So if I wanted to do a bash one, we could technically do a, I think I have the bash one. Cat, scripts, I think it's bash, reverse shell, yep. So I do also have this one right here. So we could technically throw it, and we did get reverse shell back, so we don't even need to. But we could have technically thrown that one in there also. Let's do an ID, and I should be root. Why am I root? Because this guy is running as root. So overwrite.sh is running as root. Now, I'll show you a little trick to see if it's working. So you're sitting here waiting, right? Let's go ahead and just run that guy then. So let's do a bash user local bin overwrite.sh. Okay, it is working, yes. But what am I? I'm still a user because user ran it. Okay, root did not run it. User ran it. But I do know that that does talk back to me. So now I can just have that listening and I can just wait. I can continue to do other things. So there's a little trick to see, does your reverse shell actually work? Alright, moving on. Hi, beautiful. How you doing? Went forward today, my wife, for our anniversary. It was fun. She planned the whole thing. I've been out, I feel about.
Anniversary was actually the 28th.
The anniversary was the 28th.
Okay.
But you know.
Making it clear.
Okay.
It's confusing for people.
It does.
Yeah.
Even though it's impossible for us to have met.
The date we picked.
It's the day we picked.
We were too drunk to remember the actual date, so we picked one. There you go, people. Do what you do as long as you're happy.
So now we have cron jobs path environment variables. Alright. So we have note that the path variable starts with home user, which is our user's home directory. So let's go ahead and check that out. Let's go ahead and see about that. What are we looking for here? We have, let's set this compressed.sh. What's going on there? I want to look at that guy real quick. Let's go ahead and cat that user local bin compressed.sh. Looks like he's doing the same thing. So let's go ahead and actually echo. I mean, we could do that same exact command. We should just be able to go to user local bin compressed.sh. We should get the same. Well, we won't be able to. Oh, permission denied. Okay. Maybe I won't be able to do that then. I was about to change the port for that one. But okay. So I'm not able to do that one, like right there. But it does say, so we have a path of home user. Yes, we do. User local sbin, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So now we can create a file called overwrite.sh in your home directory with the following contents. So what are we doing? We're copying bin bash, temp root bash, change mode to make temp root bash executable. Make sure the file is executable. Okay. Wait for the cron job to run. Just take no longer than a minute. Run the temp root bash command with tacp to log in. Engage shell using root privileges. I don't think I've ever actually done this before, so let's go ahead and do that. So I should run, let's go to home user, cd into cd/home user. Okay. From here we can do a create a file called overwrite.sh, because overwrite.sh, what's saying? Overwrite.sh is like right here, right? We locate it, but it's saying, hey, we're going to check our very first path that we're going to check is home user. Then we're checking local. Then we're checking user local sbin. Then we're going to check user local bin. So if the very first path is checking is home user, we can just create a new overwrite.sh. It's going to hit us first before it ever even gets to this guy over here. That's pretty much what this is saying. So what we can do is we can do a nano overwrite.sh. Happy 28th anniversary. It was our 5th. I'm only 36 years old. All right, so, and then we can put in bin bash, copy bin bash, temp root bash. Okay. So you go ahead and copy this guy into there. What we should also be able to do is we should be able to also, I think, put a reverse shell on there, because I think that would still run as root. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to try for a reverse shell on here also. Alright, cool. So we put this in here, the copy bin bash, okay, to temp root bash. Change mode, make it executable, obviously. So we obviously have to make that executable. lsec.la, if we look at it like right now, overwrite.sh is not executable, so we can do a change mode +X, and overwrite.sh. Cool. Do an ls.la again, we see that turn green, and it is executable now. Alright, awesome. Wait for the cron job to run, should take no longer than a minute, excuse me, and then run that to get a shell. Let's go ahead and just try to run it, and see if we get a shell, and we do. Alright, cool. Right there. We are root. Awesome. Now let's see if we can actually do a, since it's looking at that first, let's see what happens if we, let's go ahead and do a nano overwrite.sh, Control C, and we're just going to go ahead and throw a Netcat reverse shell right in here. We're going to throw a really long one in there, just to make it feel like I'm doing something cool. Okay. Now even NC tag NE. Now we'll throw the easy one in there, never mind. Dash. And then I need an IP address again. Go and grab that. And I'm going to change up the port so that we know that we're not getting it from the other one. Okay, let's try that. And let's see if we get anything with that guy. And we'll also start a port 4242 over here, to see if this guy connects and this one doesn't. Then we know that something's wrong. And like I did say, we could always do a /overwrite.sh and see if it's working. And it is. Okay, it is working, so we know that. And we did not get anything over here, so that's good. So far that did work. We didn't get anything over on this guy for 4242, so it's not reaching somewhere else. And we did just get something, but is it going to be under user? Nope, it's under root. So there we go. And that was just like I said, because of the path for everything and how that's working. Alright, so that was pretty easy, like right there. What was the path? Oh, what was the path in the cron tab? Okay, I can look at that. Cat, Etsy, cron tab. So like I said before, the path goes to home user first, so it's checking there first for that file. So we got that. Cool. Cron job wildcards. All right. Yeah, we did have to see that compressed.sh, and that was one of the ones that I was kind of like, what the heck? So do we have wildcards for that guy? Are these like the wildcards that I was talking about, like right there? Let's see. Oh, the tar command is being run with a wildcard. Is it? Okay. Maybe I missed that. Alright. So we'll do a cat. And it is. It is being ran with a wildcard. That tar.gz job. So I'm wondering if we can make something that falls under root with that. Is that what we can do? For tar, note that tar has command line options that you run other commands as part of a checkpoint feature. Use MSF Venom on your Kali Linux box to generate a reverse shell. Elf binary. Okay, so we'll go ahead and grab this, and we're obviously going to change that P and things like that. So we'll do Control-Shift-V, stop over here. Let me go ahead and grab my IP address. There we are. So we're going to do an MSF Venom with an elf file. Okay, we'll do port 1337, just so we're way far away from every other port that we did so far, right? And we're going to save it as shell.elf. That's what it's being saved as. And then we go and we create that elf file. Okay? Now it wants us to make that executable. From there, so just create these two files in home user. Checkpoint 1, checkpoint action, shelf elf. Let's go and check out GTF opens tar. File upload. Wonder why I'm making those two files. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so sudo. So yeah, I mean, it does have that in there. So, okay. So I'll make sure that there was a reason that we were actually making those two files, like right there. That's all. So I'll create these two files in home user. Will do. Boom. And then shelf.elf. So shell.elf. So obviously, if you were to have a different name here, then you would be changing that up. Boom, boom. And obviously we'll transfer the shell.elf file. Okay, so let's go ahead and SCP that file over. SCP shell.elf, right, to user at his IP address. ifconfig user at here. And we'll do a home user. We'll throw it in there, and we should see it come across. And this is just so you guys are seeing other ways except for wget again. Because you may not always have wget. That's something to remember on these guys. You may not have always have wget. So supposedly it got set across. It is. So let's change mode, make that executable. For shell.elf. Cool. Alright. And we can set up a listener on our box. Jump my screen again. So let's go ahead and set up a NC tech LVMP 1337. And that connected immediately. ID, and we are root again. Cool. So that is all because of these checkpoints, everything like that. Executing shell elf, creating that shell elf file, and putting that into here. And that's due to the cron job of compress.sh trying to compress something in there. And it's going to CD home user. Awesome. Alright. So that was pretty easy. So we completed that. Oh, that box is expiring soon, so we're probably not going to do too much more. Password and history keys, password keys and SSH keys. Man, there's a lot of stuff in here. So I don't want to do too much because that's going to get rid of what you guys could potentially do. And I don't want to do, get rid of that much. Okay. So this guy talks about SUID, and he also talks about SGID binaries. That is a thing. So let's go ahead and cat my scripts for SG. I think I have SUID lookup, but I should also have SG I thought in here. I do not. Wow, okay. So SGID lookup, if we type in this whole guy right here, this will look up both SUID and SGID. So you know what, I'm actually going to copy that, and I'm actually doing a cat or a nano. How's that go? Yeah, that's good. There we go. And there's that. Okay. So now I see all the SUID and SGID bits, like right here. So it does say that within here, it says, hey, a local privilege escalation exploit matching this version of exim exactly should be available. Maxing this version of exim, huh? We probably saw that within our limpies also, so that was something else we probably saw. There was just so much crap coming back. I was like, well, everything's got a problem. I'm not seeing this exim anywhere. I don't want to do too much with that. Oh, there is exim 4.8.3. Let's go ahead and look at that. And we do have a local privilege escalation for it. Okay, let's see here. And the file. All we gotta do is just, this is actually a bash script, huh? Does he have the same exact script that's already on here? Yes, he does. He has the same exact script. So, we can go ahead and look at that guy. Go ahead and the CD into home, user, tools. And then we had, I believe it's the SUID one. Yep, SUID. And there's exim. And we just go ahead and just run that. Whoopsie daisy. That didn't work out at all for me. And yep, we sure enough are, excuse me, root for that guy right there. With that exim link right there. So that's pretty cool. Shared objects. There is a lot of stuff. Kernel exploits. We can always run the kernel exploit. I know everyone likes to see that. Everyone likes to see dirty cow and everything. So we'll run this guy real quick. So we only have 1 minute left. I'll try to add an hour. We'll see what happens. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this dirty cow one. All these other ones up to you guys. As you can see, it's a room that you actually walk through and actually look at everything. So shouldn't be that difficult to do. But yeah, we'll go ahead and do this kernel exploit real quick since everyone always likes those. So it did say in the beginning that the kernel was bad. Let's go ahead and exit. Whenever I did that limpies, it did have that red. We can also do a uname attack A. And what else we can do? We can also SCP over the Linux exploit suggester at it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and copy privilege escalation. No. Linux exploit suggester les.sh. Alright, and we'll go ahead and SCP les.sh, and that's going to be user at the IP address. Okay, we're putting it into home/user, right? And we need his password. Supposedly the machine is just expired. We'll find out here in a second. I don't think it did. There's our les.sh. Let's go ahead and change mode +X for les.sh. And this is the Linux exploit suggester. period slash Linux exploit suggester, and he's going to go through and see what we can most likely use for an exploit, for kernel exploits. And there is a lot of them in here. Okay. Usually you don't get that. Usually you get like a couple. So dirty cow, it is saying that it's probable. Dirty cow 2 is probable of that also. What we can do is we can actually do an MSF console. So I believe that one of these are on there. I think they are. I don't exactly remember. But according to this guy, dirty cow is one of them. Okay. Found it there. So he already has it in here. Instead of trying to go out and actually finding it, he already has it. I think he has search. Nope. Okay. SOAP handler exploit. No. Okay. I think so. It is a Linux exploit or a kernel exploit. So let's go ahead and try to use that dirty cow. Okay, so let's go ahead and CD because he does already have it on here. So all we would be doing is just grabbing it and bringing it over. There's no point in doing that. CD into tools. We can CD into most likely kernel exploits. Alright. If we already did that, we already did our Linux exploit suggester. We can CD into dirty cow. And we have cow.c. So we can cat that. Because we do have to do some GCC, you know, we do have to compile it and everything like that. So let's go ahead and get this. Alright, awesome. And then it also will tell us, hey, this is how to run it or whatever else. And we're just going to do a period slash cow. And supposedly that will work. Nothing yet. Kernel exploits are kind of touchy. It may work, it may not work. They're a little bit touchy. So we'll see what happens with that. Same run username and password. I should have already ran that, but I don't know why I would run that. I don't know how you run that, in all honesty. I've never had to do that before. So that's a weird one. Yeah, I've never once had to do that before, so that's weird. For a dirty cow at least. Usually you just spawn a shell with a little who am I and you're done. Because if we look at even this guy up here, oh, he does have a little user bin password. I don't remember ever having to do that. Definitely taking a minute, I'll tell you that much. Oh, we're root. There we go. Okay, cool. ID, who am I? And we are root. Alright, cool. A lot of stuff in here, but we are root. And we don't have it clear on here. So that's been completed. Awesome. So we did dirty cow. And unless you guys want to see another one, I'm going to leave everything else up to you guys. That's going way above and beyond what eJPT asked of you. That's much closer to what ECPPT asked of you, much closer to that. So it really, the only time you really have to look at this is when, for at least ECPPT, would be something like the when you get into the DMZ or something like that, and you're not able to, utilize Nessus, things like that anymore. not able just to utilize whatever you want to be able to do things because you're already going through a couple different proxies and stuff like that. So if there's a specific one you guys actually want to see on this guy, I mean that's about it for this guy. I'll stick around for any questions and stuff. And yeah, that's really everything you guys need for the last 4 episodes, like right there, to be able to get into eJPT. Let's see, went over John the Ripper. Let me go ahead and look back through eJPT and see what we've done and see that we hit everything up. So I'm pretty sure we've hit every single thing up so far. Whoa, that is going insane. What's up with you? That's a new one for me. I think I definitely just put it on my other screen also, so that probably didn't really help you guys out very much, huh? There we go. Alright. Probably not help out at all. There we go. Penetration test student. And let's see here, prerequisites. So that's all just like prerequisites. You should know this information. Wireshark, how to read Wireshark, okay? Yes, Wireshark, HTTP cookies, session cookies. I actually talked about a lot about this within my web application stuff that I was showing for Juice Shop and the OWASP Top 10 one. And so I show a lot of this stuff aside there. From here we have penetration testing, C++. You don't need. You guys can do all this stuff, but don't really need any of that. And then penetration testing basics. Mmap OS fingerprinting, we know that. Mmap TAC-A, Nessus, showed you guys how to use that. And where to download it from, following that walkthrough. Netcat, we talked about, we showed that many times. Directories, file enumeration. Haven't really done much with that, but you watch any one of my videos, we're going through that stuff because we need to be able to find everything. Your video is very helpful, thanks. Hey, very welcome, Noah. I think that blue is really like the most important one out of all of them. But Dirbuster, I use Python 3 dir search. Other people use Dirbuster, use dirb. Cross-site scripting. You can look at that with my my web application videos, right, for cross-site scripting. Remember also to use Zap. Okay, Zap is a big tool, and Zap will go through and try to look at different parts of the web page and may be able to find cross-site scripting for you. SQL injection, I mean, we went above and beyond SQL injection, I'll tell you that much. Way above and beyond it. John the Ripper, been using that. Hashcat, didn't really need to because we were using John the Ripper the entire time. Alright. Buffer overflow attacks. I do have a video on buffer overflows. You do not need to do one in eJPT at all. But I do have a video on buffer overflows that is coming out. I don't remember the exact time frame it's coming out. It's going to be a while, I think. But it is on the CCPT buffer overflows and doing something like that. So I will we'll hit those up like a little bit more. And if you guys want more CCPT stuff now, let me know. Windows shares, we did talk about those with SMB and everything. We got Metasploit, we talked about that. So we did that. And I do have all 3 penetration, black box penetration testing done. So I mean, that's about it that I can think of. Hopefully if you guys take the test, you pass it. Hit me up on Discord, let me know. And wait, eJPT is basic. That is junior penetration tester. It is some basic stuff. You if you do enough try hack me boxes, then you're gonna be good. Now I say that's basic stuff. Alright. It is hard. to a lot of people. You know, it is hard to many people. Obviously, if I didn't go through and just, you know, been doing this for like a little bit, obviously it would have been very, very hard for anybody really. So you have to think of it, it's a basic test within cybersecurity, which is already an intermediate field. Because a lot of people think like, you know, security plus, things like that is super hard test. That's because it's within an intermediate field, it's still a beginner cert. CCPT is now your one up above that one. Okay, then you have professional penetration tester, then you're going, you know, or your PTX, things like that, you're going a lot more hardcore with it. So, yeah, it is a basic cert though. If you know how to do Eternal Blue, if you can, you know, move your way through things like that and do IP route and everything, then yeah, you're golden. PTP goes a little more hardcore. You can also see it, the hours change, 38 hours, 66. And then I just did that one also. That was a lot of fun. As soon as I get my test results back, I'll talk about that one. And then your PTX, this is like where it becomes, you know, difficult. Like real difficult. So, yeah, that's about it again. What do you do after eJPT? Let me go ahead and pull it up again for you guys. So after that one, what I would suggest is ECPPT, and then from there, your PTX. So PTP to CCPPT, which is your penetration testing professional. All right, this one gets a lot more hardcore, a lot harder. I then went to web application penetration testing professional. That was a lot of fun. And then right now I'm an exploit development student, which is a lot of buffer overflows, things like that. It's boring, but it's fun at the same time. I know it's kind of weird, but you know, because you're just sitting there reading the code and everything. But once you crack it, it is fun. But after CCPT, if you're just doing like the red team route, you would then go to the advanced penetration testing. So that's how all of those will work out then. If anyone else has any questions, let me know. But other than that, that is going to be it for this video. And I will start to do some videos on CCPT. Like I said, I do already have a thing on, let me see here. Can I go over to YouTube on this guy? Like YouTube Studio, or am I not logged in? I have no idea. Yeah, I'm not logged in. Alright, but I do have a bunch of Japanese stuff on YouTube. And I do have a buffer overflow on there, and that is coming out. I'm trying to check it like right now. I think it's coming out like next month. It's not coming out for like a while. I got a lot of stuff in the way. Gatekeeper buffer overflow using Ruby on August 11th. So in a couple weeks. If you're part of the Discord, I'll send out a little thing for it so you guys can view it beforehand. The Bob Bobs are really fun to watch. Alright, you guys have a good one, and yep, I'll be on next couple days. So good morning or good night.